Hey y'all, I'm back. This is kind of part three, and then some things I missed with the U.S. versus Jamaica videos. If y'all haven't seen them, I did a part one and a part two on U.S. versus Jamaica when you're moving abroad. But I didn't mention how the hurricane Melissa just hit Jamaica, and my heart is heavy for a lot of the Jamaicans because some places didn't really get hit. Most of the island did lose power for a long time. Um, the places that I stayed in, everybody seemed fine. A lot of my friends, they find it. I didn't mention I do have a lot of friends in Jamaica from abroad. They either Canada, were from Britain. Um, Most of the friends I made were from um, not from Jamaica, female friends. But again, the my heart is heavy for a lot of the Jamaicans right now because it just seems like I haven't seen any videos of the prime minister and the people that's in office. I haven't seen any like videos of what's been done. I know they've been getting a lot of money. I've been seeing a lot of people, locals helping locals or volunteers and people from other countries coming in and helping each other. But it's some people that's really still devastated. My heart is heavy for those people. Some of their houses, like the water is just now residing. Um, did I say the right word? I don't know. Either way, the water is going down now. But it's they lost everything. It's sad to see the Jamaicans having to stand in line for aid. Um, it's really sad, and nobody exempt from that. That can happen. Something like that can happen in the U.S. So don't ever think that you know you exempt from it. I mean, and it's crazy to humble you. It's amazing how the Most High will humble you because I'm sure some of those people that were in those areas, they probably had money and they had things that more than what others may have had. But when that hurricane hit, they were all in need. It didn't even matter how much money you had. It was they all were in need and lost everything that they had. And some of them don't have the money to rebuild all that stuff again. I've seen content creators who were from Jamaica, and I mean, they were men. They were so devastated. So I am I'm happy that a lot of people didn't lose their lives, but I don't even think they know the whole toll of, because some areas were literally blocked off and locals were getting to the people, not the people that should. They were boating over there, using refrigerators, using whatever they could to get to areas that were actually locked off. I seen a lady with her baby outside. It just been really hard. So prayers up for Jamaica. Um, the same thing happened in New Orleans during Katrina, of course. And I didn't live here then, but that was heavy on my heart. I had never even been to New Orleans at that time, and I wanted to bring in some families. I was staying in Wisconsin at the time. I was willing to bring in families because it just was like devastating to see people who look like you going through that. And honestly believe when you in it, when you're oppressed, and this is aside from a hurricane, you don't even realize that you're being mistreated. Like you really don't. A lot of the stuff I learned from white people because I didn't know. I thought this was how we were supposed to be treated. But I learned from them. They taught me, no, you don't accept this. Some court, one time I was in court, a man said, as a black woman, do not accept that, and I didn't know because this is everybody around me, we thinking it's normal. This is how it's supposed to be. But a lot of things when you're oppressed and you're in it, you don't even realize it. And I even had a conversation with my kid's dad because he's from New Orleans. And when I first talked to him about Katrina, he felt like, oh, well, they did all that they could to help us. And it's like, no, y'all were being mistreated. And I'm sure if you watch the documentary, if you already seen it, you will see that they were being mistreated. People were ready to gun them down just for asking for help. People that had walked for miles. So I don't know what's going on in Jamaica. I honestly feel like whatever the agenda is going to wake up a sleeping giant, because Jamaica is a giant. And once they realize what these people are doing or what they're trying to do, if they're taking advantage of an unfortunate situation, or it be a whatever. Some people feel like the weather was controlled, and we do have HARP. That is the real thing. HARP definitely can manipulate the weather. So that is something that we don't know. I'm not about to sit here and say that was the case, but people do take care of people do take advantage of situations, unfortunate situations. So that's one thing I definitely wanted to mention. And also, I didn't really elaborate on how um, people are being how a lot of the when we see the white people, when you if you go abroad as a U.S. citizen and you go to these different countries, majority black countries, you will realize that it's a lot of white people already there. Um, they make us seem like it's just horrible there. They make it seem like it's just horrible. And we be scared to leave the country. A lot of Americans have no idea how it is in these countries. Even when you get off a boat, a cruise ship, the way it looks, I think that was by design, because it makes us fear. Like, I don't see how people live here. People feel that way about New Orleans. I don't know if New Orleans watching my channel, but people that stay in other parts of the U.S., they feel the same way about New Orleans. Like, why do you live below sea level? So, and they just think it's horrible. But New Orleans is a rich culture. It's beautiful here. Um, I feel like a lot of my answers may have came from here, and just the yearning from to try to get back to, or the knowledge of what our ancestors held, because this system in the U.S. was built by um, the system was built against us. I mean, the Constitution even say we're supposed to be servants. We're not supposed to be in positions that we have gained, and that's why they coming back for their country. I have told my sister this before, like, these people conquered this land and they feel like they're not going down without a fight, and I'm not one to fight for it. I know a lot of people feel like, well, we were here first, and that may be true. Some of my bloodline may be from here. I believe that, but I know for sure that some of my bloodline came from Africa, and that's just a fact from some of the ailments that we carry in our blood. And I have had an ancestry report done, and most of it came from Nigeria. But a lot of us actually feel like, and it's a fact that we were split up in the Caribbean. A lot of the Caribbeans, we had siblings split up. We had mothers and parents and children split up. We had husbands and wives split up. Some were left in the Caribbean. Some came to the U.S. and Britain and other places as well. So I feel it in my bone to actually connect again with some people from the Caribbean and Africa. And I honestly, my homeschool travel group, that's also my purpose. I feel like that's part of my purpose, to help families to actually see outside of the U.S., see that it's not what they have been showing us, and that we are being mistreated. Like I said, when you in it, you don't realize you are being oppressed. You do not realize you're being mistreated. Um, and I hope Jamaica wakes up. And but anyway, I wanted to mention that I'm not gonna hopefully not gonna have a long video, but I never really talked about the cost of living as well. I didn't elaborate on it. But if you go to these countries and you try to still live like an American, as far as like the American products, to me, it kind of defeats the purpose. I know everybody's is not leaving to have a healthier lifestyle like I am. I want to get back to what our bodies naturally need for nutrient, and that's like our overall holistic health. That's our mental health. That impacts all of that. So if you go to these countries and you try to still get these American products, which is actually poison, you're going to pay more money. Period. It's imported, you're going to pay more. But I'm noticing the prices here are so expensive. Certain things that are that I was expensive in Jamaica, they just as high here now. Like ground beef, that stuff is ridiculously high, and that's how it was in Jamaica because that's not something that, for one, they clean their meat really well, and it's really hard to clean ground beef. So that's not something that they ate a lot, and it's more expensive. And we eat a lot. I didn't even realize how much ground beef we eat in the U.S. Like we make ground beef with almost everything. So that's something to take in. But to me, it's still cheaper. It's still tremendously cheaper to have a better quality of life. Like I said, I don't know what's going on in Jamaica right now or how they're going to change it. Um, and again, we definitely need to keep in mind not to gentrify these areas. Do not go into areas, trying to outprice the locals. Um, I mean, to me, it's best to Airbnb first. Get to know people, and then once they realize you are a genuine person. If you fake, phony, and uppity and pity them, you might as well stay in the U.S. I'm just gonna be honest. You might as well stay in the U.S. or find another country that's for that, European country or something, because that's just not in our DNA to be like that. That's some American stuff to me, in my opinion. It's we most black people, it's in our blood to be very giving, very spiritual people. Um, we live by God. Anything that's God like in our face, we try our best to be that way. But a lot of stuff has definitely been manipulated and made us think that this is right when it's not right. So yeah, the uppityness, you know, I would take that somewhere else. I wouldn't bring that to Jamaica, and certain parts of Africa from what I'm hearing, because I never been to Africa. But so I did want to mention that, and also I didn't elaborate on what I seen. I had when I was talking about how these people think a certain way of us. Um, when we go to Jamaica, y'all, a lot of the Jamaicans look at us like the U.S. citizens are rude, and they just don't really like us. They may smile on our face, but they feel a certain way about us. But we are really speaking the truth on how we know these people. We were born and raised in their system. And I know y'all are in it, it's colonizing Jamaica as well, but y'all have not lived with these, like worked next to these people and had teachers and everything. And even when I went, one time I was in Jamaica at a resort, and this guy was just chopping it up with the boatman, the Jamaican boatman or whatever. He chopping it up with them. They drinking and stuff. And the one of the Jamaicans, the boatman had walked away, and the white guy he had his wallet sitting out. I said, "Well, you left your wallet out." And he was like, "They are all thieves." Don't ask me why he said that, but he said they are all thieves. And I'm thinking, what? But I was vexed at that time because I was tired of the Jamaicans getting mad at me trying to defend them to those people. But I could not believe if that man had a known, this is what these people think of us. This is how they think we're stupid. They think we can't think for ourselves. This is the truth. This is not something that's made up. And if anybody even tells you that it is, they just oblivious to what the heck is going on. Like they really are oblivious of this system. And even the nicest of the white people, they still kind of feel like they're better than us. Most of them still feel like they're better than us. And a lot of them do know that they have privilege. They have one of my neighbors, she called it white privilege, and she was just honest. Like, she had a GoFundMe for a vacation for her and her boyfriend, and I'm talking about she raised thousands, thousands. But somebody else may come, a black person may have come and say, well, that they need help for, they getting evicted, they lost their job because of the pandemic or whatever. Ain't nobody helping them. I'm talking about, and this is facts that I've seen. It took for the white neighbor to actually use her white privilege, as she stated, to post it and get money for it. And that's just sad. And I know, a lot of times it's because Maybe that was just her family and they just had it like that. And that's another thing too. Like when black Americans come to the US, a lot of our money is new money. Not everybody, but a lot of it is new money. We worked extremely hard for that money. So we're not just giving it up so easy. Some of these white people have old grandfather slave money. So it's no big deal. It's no big deal for them to just give money away like that. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of Jamaicans may look at it like, well, they're the ones that's giving when they come. What's the reason for that? So I just wanted to definitely bring that up. It was some other things I didn't cover in the video that I missed. But I just wanted to come to y'all and say that we we really just want to connect with Jamaica. Black Americans just want to connect. The ones that are leaving, not the ones that, choose to stay here and that's their path, that's their purpose. But the ones that are actually leaving, they're coming to reconnect. And I think it's, the giant is waking up. Like we were split up. We have to reconnect. It's like it's in our blood, or in our bones, to really want to connect with the family members that we were split up from. And I just hope that Jamaicans can have a more open heart, and even a US citizens can be more compassionate, because we were all colonized and we were all really messed up by demonic beings, honestly. Like we really were, or are still are, um separated. And we just need to have more compassion for each other. Like I said, protection for the complexion. And I'm not saying, when I say protection for the complexion, I'm not saying let people get away with stuff that they should be held accountable for. I'm saying it as far as like when I was in Jamaica, and I've seen them, or a video I have seen as well. When somebody comes, a guy had came in a community and unalived a little boy over a phone. He wasn't even from that parish. The locals dealt with him. They dealt with him. So I'm not saying no accountability when I say protection for the complexion. Every single race does it except us. And it has to stop. We really have to start standing up. These people really are on some global control thing. Um, I don't know if you've seen what's been going on with the U.S. and Nigeria, but Nicki Minaj standing up doing what she did. It's like, do she even know what the real agenda is? Like, has she been looking at Mali and Niger and Burkina Faso, and how they're demanding that they control their own resources? Because like I said, they think we stupid and we can't. They think we can't, manage our own resources. And what she's doing is she's really siding with a demonic force. No, nobody should be unalive based on their beliefs, but that's not what it's about. So that's just crazy to me. And it's like a lot of this stuff is blatantly in our face because they think we dumb. And honestly, these people are not that smart. They're very strategic. They're very good at strategy. Um, they're good at unaliving, and and very good at stealing. Period. But us, we are so powerful. And I just wish we learn, and I'm still learning my own power. I'm still learning who we really are. And that's part of my purpose. It took me a long time to realize my purpose, but I get a burning fire in me when I just want us to wake up. And I'm in that journey of learning, and it's crazy, the stuff that, if you realize just how far these people have went, it definitely has to be some type of demonic force helping them. For one thing, they're the minorities. If how do they have so much power if they are the minorities? It got to be some type of demonic force helping them, because it's ridiculous on how far they have went to oppress us. And we just want to be left alone. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, they just want to be left alone. Leave us alone. But these people want global control. They want global power. They want to have surveillance all over the world. Like they just want to be able to surveillance everything. But as long as we believe in the Most High, that's our power right there. But we really have to get out of the dogma. And it's deeper than what I'm willing to go to on this video, because um, people would think I'm just crazy if I really went into it. So that's all I could think of right now that I just really wanted to come on here and say. Um, I just know that the Most High is wake. It's definitely a spiritual warfare going on right now, and we're gonna have to pick a side. And this is one thing that I hope people will look at, and it's pretty simple. If we had a choice between staying in this system that we're accustomed to, and we know that it's oppressing other countries like the Congo and Sudan, a lot of the way that we live is oppressing those countries. But it's going to be a time where we will have to choose, and maybe not this generation, I don't know. But once they're not oppressed no more, we will be the ones suffering. The tables will turn because we live off of their backs. So once they actually pull those people from out of their countries and say no more, we're going to manage and govern our own resources, and you manage and govern your own resources in the West, we're not going to have a lot of resources. Everything is going to be extremely expensive. And, for one, they're not going to just let that happen. I mean, they're just not going to go down without a fight. As you can see, what they put Nicki Minaj, that just was crazy. They put Nicki Minaj to try to say this is wrong. Do you know how oppressed a lot of people are because of their beliefs? Do you know how some people are suffering and been suffering since slavery? Because it didn't end. It did not end. I mean, the boats came here, and slavery. We had a lot of our civil rights and everything changed, but a lot of that stuff was still going on there. When the boats was leaving, they were still colonizing those people. They were still really oppressing those people a lot more than we are, and it's like a fight now. These people are waking up now. They like no more, no more, no more. And it's going to be a time where we will have to choose. And if you are really a God-like person, I hope you choose the right thing. And if you do choose the right thing, then you'll know you need to have another place to go, because it's not going to be easy here. The table's going to eventually turn. And that's why I advise everybody to at least look into having another place somewhere else, or at least travel and have an ideal in mind. If I have to leave, where would I go? If you can. If you can't, then it's probably just not your path. It's probably meant for you to stay here and fight, or just be a part of the system. That's just what it is. So I love y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. Try to take me a little nap on this good old Sunday. It's a Sunday right now. At the end of November. But y'all take care. I just wanted to mention those things. Bye.